Thank you, YouTube, for that horse manure. I just spent 15 minutes trying to restart this broadcast. This is crap. Total garbage. I don't know what's going on YouTube. Their servers weren't working properly. I thought maybe I got a strike or something. There's no strike on my account. Just would not connect to the server. We had like 45 people waiting. What a bunch of crap. What a total bunch of crap. If there's a mod here or somebody's in one of the groups, you could go to the moderator group or go one of the groups and tell people that we're live now because, wow, talk about sabotage. Listen, it's a massive operation. It's a global operation. They've got millions of content creators, but I've never had this happen before. Never had this. I've had to reset the stream 7 times. I've had to delete it 3 or 4 times and do it again and again. Wow, what a crock. And now nobody's here because they're all pissed off and probably left. But I'm going to talk about Jacob Zuma and Ronaldo tonight, as well as a few other topics on Night Owls. Welcome back to the Night Owls, folks. So the chest pains that are being given to the political leftists who are just losing sleep, calling Ronaldo a right-wing racist, it's comical on the face of it. He's a left-to-center guy. Look, I struggled hard to get this Night Owls on. We only have 5 people here. We had like 45 waiting. So anyway, so what's that say? I'm here. Who's that? I'm here. Red. Hey, welcome, guys. Oh, we jumped to 23. Okay, you guys found me. Listen, my apologies for the late start. I was ready. I pushed the button. Wouldn't connect. I tried like 6 or 7 times to connect. Wouldn't connect. Finally, I went back. I deleted it. Started again. Then it started. Then there was 2 left on the account. So anyway, but I have a little something here for the chest pains for all the people who are attacking Ronaldo. You know, I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. It's a real thing. But really, this is what I'd like to say. A little bit of love in your life would be lovely, you know? Love, exciting and new. Come aboard, we're expecting you. Love, life's sweetest reward. Let it flow, it floats back to you. The love boat, soon we'll be making another run. The love boat promises something for everyone. Set a course for adventure, your mind on a new romance. And love won't hurt anymore. It's an open smile on a friendly shore. The love boat, soon we'll be making another run. The love boat promises something for everyone. And that's a little for the leftist haters. Little chest pains for you tonight. Have a little love for your fellow man. That's right. And if you make me sing a little Luther Vandross, I could do that as well. Well, the program tonight, folks. Let me see if I can't get this thing to work now. This video is unavailable. Yeah, because it doesn't exist, because you turds made me reset this half a dozen times. YouTube having some serious server problems tonight, and it's not targeting me. It's just not there. Now I can't load my live videos. Anyway, so what is MK up to? What was the purpose of yesterday's press conference? We were told that Jacob Zuma would be speaking. He would be at a press conference. And in fact, he did speak in the end, but his statement, written by someone else, obviously probably Dali and Pofu, read like a racist screed of hatred and bile, which is interesting because Jacob Zuma never struck me as a racist, and I really don't think he is that sort of person. But anyway, what's going on here? Wow, this is all screwed up. My YouTube is having some serious server problems. I wonder if they're getting denial of service or their servers being attacked at this hour because, man, the data is just not returning. So I'm going to have to look at the chat on the phone here because I can't get up on a PC even though I got a good connection here. Right, told you. Wi-Fi is how this sucks, copper. It's not the Wi-Fi, brother. It's YouTube. It's YouTube. I've got 50 megabytes of download going on here and quite a bit of upload. It isn't the problem. The problem is YouTube. Maybe the fiber between here and YouTube is the problem. There we go. Finally. Now there's my video view on YouTube. Let's see if it loads up. Hey, what's up, Dylan? Chris Marie, Keith Alderson. Hey, Keith, haven't seen you in a while. People will come just refreshing. Yeah, no doubt they will. But it's frustrating. It kind of pisses people off, and I appreciate where they're coming from. I wouldn't want to have to sit here and wait for this crap forever. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. Now I got the chat over here. So, all right, let me move this back a little bit right there. There we go. All right. 66 here for Night Owls. Thanks for tuning in, folks. People calling him racist called him that long before that video leaked. Exactly. Yeah, but they didn't have a target that they go after. Now Ronaldo is a member of parliament, and they think they can get a scalp. The racists want a scalp, and they want Ronaldo's. There's no such thing as bad publicity. You people say that. But I don't know if I agree with that. No, it's just the father's login and Pornhub after a long Father's Day. Oh, is that what it is, Arctic? It's like I can't get anywhere because all the people are on Pornhub. That's funny. What is this thing on my screen? Oh, okay, there it is. I was like, something's on my screen here. It's the chat, isn't? There we go. There we go. It was a little white spot on my screen. I'm like, does my screen have like some kind of moss disease? Tommy Tank Gaming says, hi, are you going to be at the final? Yes, I will, Tommy Tank. I shall be at the final. I should have press credentials. I RSVP today. If they somehow deny me press credentials, I do have a ticket. I purchased a ticket, and I'll be sitting on the shade side, on the west side of the stadium at the end of a row, so that everybody can walk in front of me and stop and stand and take all the pictures that interfere with the game. It's so rude. I never seen so many rude people at a rugby match as last, just getting everybody's way. So Zolane Kunene, oh man, stop with nonsensical propaganda. Zuma and MK are doing nothing to research. People, oh my gosh, Zolane Kunene, could you please just get a grip? I haven't even said anything about Jacob Zuma. We're talking about Ronaldo host. Do you have that like pre-typed? Is it all? I mean, look. Do you have a little like sheet right there that goes, okay, let's put this up just in case they say something about Jay-Z. Oh, put that one up. Oh, call him a racist. Call him a European. Tell him to go back to Europe. Tell him we don't want Dutch here. Tell him he's Dutch. God bless. I mean, seriously, Solani Kunani. Really, I haven't said anything about Jacob Zuma. I said, what are they up to? That's the title. And your hate wanking garbage has already started. Anyway, yeah, that's right. A hate wanker alert. There you go. So let's get into it. MK only wants to disrupt government. If they're given more power, they would destroy the fabric of our democracy, says Wade Schultz. All right, copy and paste where exactly, Arctic. That's right. Here's your little marching instructions. Bell Pottinger or the Russians or Tehran, whoever's financing this garbage. You got to do a little better job than that. All right, we haven't even talked about Jacob Zuma. We're already got a troll in here complaining, making comments and making nonsense. Tonight, I don't know if I'm going to entertain those guys, but I am going to talk to you about Ronaldo and about MK. So, I actually weighed in and wrote to Herman Mashaba. He didn't respond to me, but other people did, and some of them were polite. Most of them weren't that rude, maybe because they saw the colonel, I don't know, but that's unusual. But I will tell you this, Twitter is the domain of some really, really, truly, epically stupid people. It's unbelievable. Now, it's always been that domain, but at least now conservatives have a chance to be stupid too. Before, conservatives got censored all the time, and the leftists got to say what they want. But now, conservatives can be stupid too. But I'll tell you what, reading Twitter makes your brain cells melt. It's I don't know, it's like you could drink a fifth of vodka and not lose as many brain cells as an hour on Twitter. It's really that bad. So it's unbelievable. And again, I'm unbelievably shocked that Herman Mashaba would retweet that garbage. First off, there's nothing in there that says he's racist. I mean, they pull up this video from 15 years ago, right? And that video, he didn't say anything racist. He just stated things factually. But they lie about it. They twist it around. They just make allegations. Same with Super Sport and Nospo to what happened there. Unbelievable. That little hate wanker sloot, sucked me a straw up my backside, jerk off. That guy. So that's just people make stuff up, and the cowards in the corporate world and the cowards in the political world simply cave to it. Meanwhile, I smell a lawsuit coming, and probably the press ombudsman will probably be hearing from somebody too. Yeah, because the media has been irresponsible. I've already seen Times Live and Independent Online also put things up factually incorrect. By the way, folks, it's funny because earlier today on my news program, when I reported this story on Independent Online, I hadn't seen on Times Live yet. When I reported that story, the Independent Online had incorrectly listed the number of subscribers Ronaldo has. They said he had 107,000. On my broadcast at 6 p.m., I mentioned that that's incorrect, that the actual number is like 128,000. Son of a gun. If 15 minutes later, the number wasn't corrected when I went back to the web page and it refreshed and they corrected it. Now, happenstance, coincidence, or is the Independent Line watching my broadcast? Probably not watching my broadcast, but it is a very funny coincidence that happened in that fashion. I'll tell you, that one really just got my attention. That was pretty darn funny. All right, so what else we got here? Yes. Herman's looking for new angle remain relevant. He should stick to cheap shampoo. Yeah, Arctic, Herman shouldn't weigh into the scene because obviously he knows nothing about it. It's very disappointing. That's really disappointing. And you know what? A lot of people said that. I saw a lot of people say that they're not voting for Action SA anymore if this is and that's just an own goal. That's so stupid. Why would you do something like that? I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's just amazing how stupid some people can be. I'm not talking about Herman Mashaba. I'm telling people, hey, Marilyn, how's it going? Yep. Yeah. Who else? Who else would the watch? I don't know what who else would the watch mean. What does that mean? Who else would the watch? Who else would we watch? I don't know. 121 people here at this hour for Night Owls. 44 likes already. Thanks a lot. All right, let's get into what the troll wanted to talk about. And that is, what is MK up to, ladies and gentlemen? Now, we speculated, and I said there might, but I said it's highly unlikely. It might be talking about a case for secession, and they didn't. Then I said that they may be talking about Jacob Zuma would take the high road. And of course they didn't. And nobody thought Jacob Zuma was going to take the high road. He didn't. And then I said, of course, he could intimidate and seek to threaten and intimidate other folks. Listen, for all of their woes and the fact they only got 28,000 votes, old Tunny Pat, I'm going to feel for her. She's at least back in Parliament again. She's trying to end the suffering. Ooh. Yes, but she won't be attacked as a racist, because I don't think she is, although she said some strange thing in her lifetime, to say the least. Anyway, so what is MK up to? Well, clearly, they seek to intimidate the electorate. They seek to intimidate the government. They seek to intimidate the security services. And they're pushing their luck to see how far they can go. Yeah, he left the A because Helen was racist, apparently. Maybe he'll leave probably because I the deepest sympathy to the family of the most formidable this country ever known, who passed yesterday, most respected, affectionately known as Colonel Carpenter. Benjamin, I don't know Colonel Carpenter, but fair winds and smooth sailing to him. Yep. Anyway, so, yeah. So, it's funny, the troll came in on here immediately. We hadn't even talked about MK. We already get a comment. See, that shows you that it's either automated or it's just hate wankers, because I hadn't even talked about MK. And there's nothing in the title that says anything bad. I told you I could just put Jacob Zuma and MK in the title and people will show up. The trolls will show up. You don't even have to say anything. I'll tell you what, it'll be a great clickbait title for the next 2 weeks. All you got to do is, Jacob Zuma says this, Jacob Zuma will do this, and they'll lose their freaking minds. That light is kind of a little crooked there. They'll lose their minds. They'll just freak out because, oh my goodness, they're talking about Jacob Zuma. They must be racist. Anyway, back to how stupid Twitter is. So at Twitter, there's a whole thing going around now where they're showing the results from the elections in South Africa, and they're going, look at this. This was the first list released by the Independent Electoral Commission. Notice how there's 6 million votes for the ANC. Then look at this. They're re-released and they have 12 million. How do they double their votes? Well, dumbass, if you actually understood how the system works in South Africa, and you should have seen all the responses to this, these idiots. The raw vote is one ballot. The provincial vote is the other ballot. They combine the two, and that's how you get 12 million votes when only 16 million people voted, because you ignore that other list. That only matters for getting people in proportionally. I said provincial proportionally, getting people in proportionally into parliament. So it doesn't matter. It's not the number of people. Only 16.4 million people voted, and of them, only 6.4 million voted for the ANC. That's the bottom line. It's just amazing how stupid people can be. And you could just grab people by the nose and lead them anywhere because they're so dumb. The unbelievable stupidity that goes on Twitter, and quite frankly, some of the comments come on YouTube. It's just, it beggars the imagination. Hey, Andre, and now you know why mainstream media is entertaining. Yes, it is very entertaining. Yep. Debbie says, please hit the like button. Yep. And then what else did I miss here? Jan Brayton. Oh, somebody said Carpenter died. Jan Breitenbach died. Oh, I didn't know that. I've read his stuff. I really hope to interview him one day. Well, that's sad news there. Thank you for sharing that article. I didn't see that Jan Breitenbach. I thought he had, wow. I didn't know that. Wow. So Arctic, are you here now? Are you back? You didn't tell me you're back, man. See, Arctic is just trying to get out of buying me biltong or druvos. Arctic usually buys me druvos, and he just doesn't. He also, he owes me some super chat money. So, and he also owes me a flight. He promised me a flight. The guy is just so unreliable. I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. It just at least the trolls show up on a regular basis. MK only for show, just like EFF in the beginning. Yeah, it's remarkable, the trajectory of the MK party and the EFF. It's almost identical, except for the huge number of votes that Jay-Z pulled in. But yeah, anyway, so yeah. So what is MK up to? They are just looking for trouble? Are they trying to incite violence? Are they pushing the envelope? What do they think is going to happen? I mean, they produced no evidence of their suspected fraud. And I see that in the business tech, they did this obnoxious op-ed piece trying to compare Jacob Zuma to Donald Trump. Well, Jacob Zuma is a convicted criminal. Donald Trump committed no crime. They made up the crime to convict Donald Trump of a non-existent crime. There's no law for the conviction that Donald Trump has. It's beyond ludicrous. There is no basis whatsoever, in fact, for the judgment against him, the civil case against that 70-some-year-old, supermodel she thinks she is. She's not. She's a columnist. And all of this stuff is just cooked up. So Neil says, Chris, will it go better for South Africa now, even by a little? Yes, it will, Neil. The rapid decline of South Africa will now be arrested. It'll be slowed, not stopped, but it'll be slowed. And depending on which ministries the DA gets, it could be slowed down even more, or it could just continue along the normal path and pick up pace a little bit. But we will see. We're waiting for Zuma to announce for Ramaphosa to announce his cabinet. And there's a lot of people running around talking about there's going to be more cabinet positions. That's a disaster. That's not what South Africa needs. It needs less. But what I find fascinating about this whole narrative is a couple of things that have just become unbelievably comical. I shared this with folks at my meet greet today at Monte Casino in Joburg, which, by the way, is Lekka for those who showed up. Some of them are here in the chat tonight. Welcome to you. So here's the deal with that, folks. Number one, is it not beyond hilarious how black supremacist and racist in MK, EFF, Lindiwe Sisulu, and parts of the ANC are trying to make the claim? Yeah, there's a problem with R1. There's a problem with YouTube right now. The fact that I'm broadcasting is actually surprising because it took me about 15 attempts to actually get this stream up. So thanks to the 160 people currently here, I had to try and connect, and I had connection. There's something with YouTube servers. Maybe they're having a denial of service attack. Maybe someone's got into their servers. Yeah, no, it's not you guys. Keep trying. It's not you guys. It's YouTube. Yeah. Anyway, so isn't it beyond hilarious and comical how the black supremacists and racists are trying to rewrite the narrative and claim that the Democratic Alliance is the offspring of the National Party and apartheid. And they say P.W. Botha and F.W. de Klerk. Well, first off, what's so evil about F.W. de Klerk? A lot of Afrikaners hate him because he betrayed their nationhood, in their view. But he was in the government national unity. You didn't have a problem with him before. He only became racist towards F.W. de Klerk in his later years because he's white and the last white president of the country, that must mean he's evil. Never mind the fact that he's the one that brought the referendum, which led to the end of apartheid. Yeah, just this stupidity. But let's be clear about this. The Democratic Alliance is not the offspring of the National Party. The ties to the National Party run far deeper in the ANC, which merged with the National Party in the late 1990s under Van Schalkwyk. Yes, Van Schalkwyk brought the new National Party, the rump remainder of the National Party, to the ANC. That's where they went. They took them. The people they claim are racist became part of the ANC. So we hear the leftists always talk about the big switch, how all the racist Democrats became Republicans in the Deep South. None of that's true. Dinesh D'Souza's conclusively disproved that garbage. But we do have a big switch here. We have the National Party joining the ANC. And here we are 20 years later, 25 years later, listening to the ramblings of uninformed morons lying about history and people eating it up like it's true. Does that cover what Arctic owes you? Nah, Laurie owes me a lot more than that. Notice how I went silent when I mentioned my Druvos and my super chat and my flight? He went silent. Maybe he can't chat. Is it true the IC changed results yesterday? No, it's not, Pamela. It's not. See, that's fake news. They didn't change it. People aren't paying attention. Those are the numbers of combining the national list with the proportional list, which is what is always done. And anybody that does any research into elections South or pays attention would know this. We have uninformed morons on Twitter, also known as Brain Dead Central, running that story, telling people it's a lie. And now we have to explain to dipshits who are perpetuating this lie and misleading honest folk like yourself that that's not true. Simply not true. Would it be likely that I could have a successful business without complying with BE? R1, you can. You just have to know how to navigate the system. It's unfortunate you have to do that, but you can do it. Morteg says, hi, all. Sorry to see all the racism X towards Ronaldo, especially for people like Herman Shabbat. That was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, I almost fell over when I saw that. I didn't expect that from Herman Shaba. Yep. What else we got in here? Malcolm says, I walk the streets of Dirtbin peacefully as a white man today. Zero animosity or threats of violence, only friendship. Yeah, propaganda is what's going on here. Yeah. Oh, Arctic says, I'm chatting while you're not reading. Well, that's the first message I've seen come up for you in 5 minutes, dude. Anyway, so yeah, that's the first thing. So they try to rewrite history and try to project their inheritance of the National Party and apartheid into the ANC, onto the Democratic Alliance, which was born from the Progressive Party in 1959. And throughout its existence, its antecedent roots. Okay, for the leftist hate wankers and trolls that come in from the RET faction, let me explain. Antecedent means its origin, the original place it came from. Antecedent roots, the basis. All right, I'm not saying that the Democratic Alliance fought against apartheid because it's impossible. It didn't exist. There was no Democratic Alliance. It's a formation that occurred about 20 years ago by merging with the Democratic Party, and that is where the roots from anti-apartheid come from. And it's full of people with genuine liberation credentials, people like Helen Zilla, the woman who put her life on the line as a journalist to expose police brutality and murder of Steve Biko, the man who started the Black Consciousness Movement, who was not in the ANC, and the ANC is not responsible for Black consciousness. That's another lie told by the ANC, because that's what they do. They tell lies. Anyway. Awanze Lutando, you criminals want what's ours. Well, Lutando, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you should ease up on the chibuku. Criminals, fuck off. I'm not a criminal. Criminal, spending money in your broke-ass country, and you're going to come here and insult me with your bigotry? Foot sec. All right, it's night owls. Profanity does come out occasionally. That's a problem. Want. Okay, is it tilted? Hi, Colonel. First time, Jess. Just wanted, says young, white, finally your law student. I'm bullish on my country. I appreciate your work and insight. Thank you for your time. Well, Tilton, I'm glad you're bullish. It's great to hear that young people are bullish. Those born after 1994 should be bullish in South Africa. Unfortunately, you've inherited a disadvantage, a system that is created to work against ordinary South Africans, black, white, and brown, to the advantage of caters from the ANC. Yep. So, but thank you, Tilted, and good luck in the law world. I know some South African lawyers. There's some very talented people. Okay, RPO says, do you think there will be a Nelson Mandela-like figure to unite South Africa once again? Should some form of anarchy break loose? If indeed this someone exists, who do you think it is? Oof, gosh. At the moment, I'm not aware of anybody who has the sort of gravitas that Nelson Mandela had. Very, very few people on the planet ever had that. Whether he deserved it or earned it is a whole different story, but it was certainly elevated to that level by the press, international press. And he wore that mantle very well, although he's a terrible president, but he was a great human figure at the time. Nelson Mandela, the former terrorist, pugilist, solicitor, and freedom fighter, or so they claim. Yeah, so I don't see anybody out there on the horizon. There are a few people who have the talent, but so much is driven by emotion and by stupidity. And look at the low education levels or the low critical thinking skills that I've just talked about. People spreading rumors, like the lady here asked about did the IC release new results or they change the results? They didn't change anything. Those are the same results. I saw the results last week. Why didn't people say that last week? The 12 million votes for the ANC was there last week. I saw it because I was frustrated. I went to the IEC a couple days after when they finally finished the results, and I wanted to get the raw, and they had the combined results. And I'm like, I don't want the combined results because they're not real. It doesn't matter. I don't care about the other half. I want to see the actual number of votes the ANC got, which is 6.4 million. And that's what I based my analysis off of. You need to harvest your blood, being able to drink energy drinks and still able to sleep. That's talent. Debbie, I can sit around and drink Coca-Cola or coffee or eat chocolate and fall asleep just like that when I want to. Yep. All right. So Brandon says, evening, hope you meet and greet went. Yeah, the meet and greet went very well. Deb was there. Colin was there. Debbie, Colin. Leovin, she's not here tonight. And Garrett. And Chris Murray. And Ross was there too. All right. Debbie gets caffeine overdose with a sprinkle of sugar. Who's spamming hearts with me, R1? I have no idea who's spamming the hearts. That's pretty funny, but I don't think they're for you, R1. Oh, my 5 pence. Hey, I landed on the site, a king something, and listened to the guy that could not even pronounce Ronaldo's name. Not good. Yeah, exactly. They can't even get it right. Menage a Trois is asking a question already asked twice in this program. Welcome to the show. Yes, I'm going to the final. Who is going to the final? Let's do a poll, okay? Let's see if anybody's going to the final. Okay. And if you're not going, you can. Oh, I don't want a question. I want a poll. Give me a poll here. Come on, YouTube. Stop being difficult. Start a poll. There we go. Are you going to LOFTUS for the final? Okay. No, that's all right, Menage. Quite. You don't have to apologize. I'm just saying you're asking a question that's been asked a couple times. Yes or no? All right. There you go, folks. Poll is up. Guns are smoking on Jose. Yes, they are trying to come after him. But that was eminently predictable. I expected this to happen. I'm not at all surprised. Look, this whole thing is a target attack that was set in motion before Ronaldo even got sworn in. To be fair, Ronaldo's video is only dirt they can find. The AMPs, the trolls are going to be starved soon. Exactly. I mean, if that's what they have to resort to, a 15-year-old video of a 25-year-old ranting about people because they're allowed to get away with calling for the murder of white people, and that bothers them, then they aren't going to find much of anything. So the poll's up. And where's my poll? Is anybody answering it? There we go. 90% say no. Well, that's because they're not going to go. 10%. So 42. Okay, so that means 4 people are going at least. Cool beans. How much will it cost to go to the final? I think it's between. I looked up the tickets earlier. I paid $500 for my ticket. So let me find that real quick. Okay. Bulls versus Glasgow Warriors tickets. I think it's. Let me see what the totals are. Somewhere between. Come on, 50. Ticket Pro sells the tickets. I hate that because I don't have actual tickets. 100 to 650 rand. So 100, 650. By the way, there aren't. I mean, the west side of the stadium is almost no seats left. There were like 11 seats in one section, sold out in the middle, sold out here, already selling out. So, but there's 52,000 seats, so there's a chance to get tickets still. Hendo is never coming to South Africa again. I don't think anyway. All right. Yeah. So I am going to the final Menage a Trois. On the line, new sense. New nonsense. Yes, I need to finish my banner for that, the new, and I've got a picture of a new, the actual new, the animal. Anyway, how much? Okay, that's how much it costs. 100 to 650. Saddle Coffee and Company was good. Definitely beat Chris's obsession of I don't have an obsession with Starbucks. I'm just a shareholder. I want you to spend money there so I can get rich. That's all. Hey, I'm all about transparency, baby. All about the transparency. I'm a shareholder in Starbucks, so you should spend your money there. All right. Part of the 90% says Maryland. Yes, you are. Okay. Finals at Loftus with the Bulls. If they lose, just remember you don't speak the English. Huh? By the way, Megaphone Sports, that gentleman Marcus and I are doing a regular feature on his program. We were supposed to film tonight, but he fell ill. He thinks he caught the bug at Loftus. I'm okay so far. Hopefully I didn't catch it. But we'll probably record sometime Wednesday before I fly. So, do you think this nonsense of people saying we want what's ours will ever stop? Nope, Nick Stevens, not until those people are dead and buried and they're gone from this planet. And hopefully they won't poison their offspring. That's where it comes from. It's the inculcation lies spread by liars. So, again, let's put this in perspective. In 1911, the first official census for South Africa, there were 5 million people, I think it was. 4 million people, something like that. 20% of them, over 20%, were white. 1 in 5 was a white. Now, the number of whites is nearly 5 times as large, but the number of blacks has gone from about 3 million to 43 million, exponentially larger. Now, there were never 43 million black people owning land in this country. There were never 3 million black people owning land in this country. The land was held in common trust, unless they lived in areas where white South Africans lived, and then they owned land, had title to it. But it was held in trust. So we want our land back. It was never your land to begin with. The Kosi, the chief, can claim the land, but you can't claim it. You never owned it, and you weren't alive. So land is freely available. Tons of land. People are welcome to go buy it, and the government can expropriate all the land they want as long as they provide adequate compensation. But of course, that lies. The truth is never told. The lie is what they perpetuate. You are well traveled, and your immune is prime. God, thank you. Well, the first time I was here, I caught something. It was nasty. I forget what it was, but I survived it. Yep. It wasn't the COVID though. All these soy boys and girls gunning for Jose is rather irritating. Pisses me off. What a bunch of are they from the VitCunt? Are they from the VitCunt? VitCunt. Was yesterday the record super chat day on the channel? No, Paulie, not even close. Not even close. Not even close. It was a good super chat day yesterday, but wasn't even remotely close. Remember a couple years ago we had a $500 super chat on one stream. I made on one stream over $800. I think that's the record, $800 once upon a time. Those days are long in the past. Why hasn't Peter de Villiers ever gotten another professional coaching job? Was he really that bad as a Springboks coach? He has gotten another professional job. He was the coach of Namibia. Peter de Villiers took Namibia to the World Cup. He has been it. Freelance Kate says, I missed that video of Ronaldo. Which one? The one from 15 years ago? Go on Twitter, you'll find it. It's being circulated left and right. Now, Ronaldo apologized today, and I'm not going to give any advice on what to do. I'm sure he's got people telling him what to do who know what they're talking about, but there's no reason to apologize. No need to apologize. The people attacking him should apologize for their racism, bigotry, and their lies, their libel, and their slander. They're the ones who should apologize before they get sued and wind up going bankrupt. Yep. I thought that was Kotsia that coached Namibia. Oh no, then it was Zimbabwe. He coached Zimbabwe. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Alistair Kotsia had Namibia right. It's Peter de Villiers coached Zimbabwe. Yeah, he took over the Zimbabwe, the Sables. Yeah, sorry, Zimbabwe. Misspoke. It's not SA in the bathroom on Delta that's making you sick. What? Jan van Riebeck. What the hell is that? Solar Holler Soul Blade, says Jan van Riebeck. Somebody remember old Jan, whom Jan got remembered tonight. Yikes. They're going back 16th century where Jan van Riebeck took over. Oh, I think you were correcting the spelling. Yeah. He's a crappy coach, yep. Wow, that's fantastic. Need a bingo night or something like that to make more super chats. Does help independent journalism. But no, what you do, this is a passion too. Yeah, well, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I'd love to make money from this, but that's not the motivation. That's not why I did it, and that's not why I do it. That's not why I put the energy into it. I think anyone here is present knows that I put a buttload of energy into this. No bum pun intended there. Yep, I really do. I mean, today I started in Vol, and I filmed. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, is one of my mods here. Could you put the link into the, what do we call that, audiobook? It's an audiobook that I did for Sandra Hunt's book about Mama's Magical Quest, Fairies in the Garden. I read her children's book, and it was kind of cool. I got a lot of distractions. I went down to the river early in the morning when it's cold so that no one else come down there, because South Africans abhor the cold, and I love the cold. So I sat down there and tried to record, but then people started making noise. I had to stop and wait. You guys are raking leaves. Anyway, so I did the best I could without an actual book. I was reading from the screen and trying not to look at the screen. So I think I did pretty well, but please put the link in there so people can go watch that video. Please watch the video. I mean, I put a lot of effort into it. So I did that. Then I drove up a pretty uneventful drive up to Monte Cassino. We had a nearly 4-hour meet and greet. Woo. We started Seattle Coffee and found our way to the Fago Cafe. And the food was excellent. The company was fantastic. And thank you for all those present, the nice gifts that people gave me, and for sharing their time with me. It's really amazing. And then I came back here. I did my night news stream after I finished editing the video for the audiobook and loaded it up and shared it with the author. She loved it. So I released it to the public after she approved it. And then I did my evening news report, and then I got some dinner, spent some time with my host, and now I'm here doing this. That's my day. Tomorrow, I meet with Ramon Kabanak in the morning. There'll be a live broadcast, probably around 9:30, because we'll meet at 9. At 9:30, we'll probably do a live broadcast, maybe a few minutes after that. And Ramon will be talking about a host of things, I'm sure, including elections. After that, I meet with Sean Stewart from United Cape States. I'll do a quick interview with him. Don't know if it'll be live. It might be taped. We'll see. I prefer to do live because then I have to carry the data around on my phone. And then after that, I have a meeting with a private fire company in Santon. And then after that, I think I might be done for the afternoon. Anyway, I'll sort it out. So that's tomorrow. And then Wednesday, I'll be meeting with the Free Market Foundation. I'll be doing an interview with the newspaper back home, which is doing a biography, a news story about me as a veteran. And that's my Wednesday. I fly back to the Cape, stay in Constantia. Thursday morning, I'm up having breakfast with Peter Fabricius. And then after Peter Fabricius, I've got something else that day. That evening, I've got a speaking engagement at the Reformation Society, the Livingston House in Rondebosch. Friday, I'm probably going to see, or Thursday, see Neil de Beer, interview Neil de Beer. And Saturday, I fly back to Leftists for the game. Sunday, I fly back to Cape Town. Monday, I'm meeting with Biz News. And anyway, so that's there you go. So it just never ends. And that's what I do. On a separate, totally insignificant, unrelated issue, it seems like your favorite uncle from down under is in financial difficulties and has to close his platform down. Well, I'm not sorry to hear that. An evil person, a slanderous liar who attacked me because of his penis envy. And look, I have compassion, empathy for the man over his macular degeneration. That's a horrible thing. But his propaganda platform being shut down doesn't hurt my feelings at all. It's long overdue. He leached off of other people, and basically, I'll leave it at that. But good riddance to his broadcast. I do hope that his macular degeneration is somehow able to be arrested so he doesn't lose his vision. That is a horrible thing. But good riddance to an evil person who deserves to have nothing. So thank you for sharing that, and Mo 2330. Good evening, Patrick Brian Pereira. Okay, I knew an Air Force major named Pereira. Debbie says, where are you in Gordons Bay, as Leanne would like to link up if you're doing a meet and greet to just invite you for dinner. I'm drawing a blank on who Leanne is there, Debbie. Sorry. So I don't know where I'm going to be in Gordons Bay, the specific spot. I could point to it on a map, but I don't know the street or anything like that. I'll be staying at Gordons Bay Sunday night, Monday night. And yeah, so actually in Sea Point. Oh, I was in Sea Point during the election. I went there. Thank you for sharing that. Yep. So, yeah, Gordons Bay. What's this friendly reminder, online statement now from my dermatology? Look, I told these clowns, tell me what the bill is. They haven't responded. So I'm not going to pay them until they respond. And if they want to whine about it, then that's their problem. They billed me something I'm not supposed to pay. So, sure says, okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I've stayed in a hotel. I went to a conference in Sea Point several years ago. Flew down from, where was I at? I can't remember, but I flew down and went to that conference. It was pretty good. She met with you at the first meet and greet at Empress Palace. She lives in Gordons Bay. Mentioned you were going down. Okay, sorry, I've drawn I know lots of names. So if you're in touch with her, let her know. And I may do something in Gordons Bay. We did the Strand already. And while I like the Kapstadt Brauhaus, that would be driving for me. And that means I can't drink. So what's the joy of going to the Kapstadt Brauhaus? Jackie Smith says, good to hear you'll be meeting with Neil de Beer. You two have quite a lot in common. Looking forward to it. Always extra crispy. I heard the USA passed a bill to automatically register men for the draft, so they know what men are, but can't answer what a woman is. I don't know what you're talking about. Men are already required to register for selective service. You cannot get federal student loans or grants unless you're registered for the selective service. I was forced to register for selective service when I turned 18. Actually, I had to do it when I was 17 because I couldn't get financial assistance to go to university unless I could prove that I had registered for the draft. And then after I'd served my time in the Army and met my obligations, I was still forced to re-register for that crap in 1987. It's an idiotic system. Yes, the United States can identify what a man is and can identify what a woman is. But the wokeism that started here in South Africa found its way to America's shores, and we have idiots walking around who can't tell the difference. But yes, we can tell. Missed you at the Vol. Unfortunately, I was out visiting folks. It's okay. And Mo 203010. Nobody else came. It was just Ronaldo and me. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Twitter is already awash with Yep. It was a bill being passed by the House. It was all over Twitter. I have no idea what that's about. We are already forced to register for the selective service. So it sounds to me like something stupid is being said and done by our government. Debbie says we can Uber you around when down there so you can partake and enjoy your other day. Okay, Debbie, we'll think about that. Yeah, so how and when did it start? Essay, the woke movement. Fees must fall. Fees must fall. Fees must fall. Fees must fall. This crap started right here in South Africa, UCT. That's where it started. Yep, that's where it started. And this disease affected us, and it flew to our shores. Instead of importing wokeness from South Africa, I wish we'd imported, Kurt Darren, Kalfut Soki, or I don't know, Juanita Duplessis. Yeah. Do you think South Africa's intervention in the Rhodesian Bush War would have any noteworthy consequences, both good and bad, international and local level? I don't understand the question. Would have had. I don't. I'm sorry, RPO. I don't understand your question, brother. South Africa intervened in the Bush War to support the minority government of Rhodesia because of their total onslaught in the frontline states' geostrategic strategy. So they were trying to keep buffer states and keep this stuff away from them. They had Southwest Africa. They had that as a buffer state. Botswana was essentially a buffer state. There were no real threats coming from there into South Africa. Then they had Rhodesia as a buffer state. And once the Portuguese fled from Mozambique, they lost that as buffer state. So they're trying to keep the trouble as far away as possible, hence the reason for supporting Ian Smith and the Rhodesian Front in Rhodesia. However, Forster betrayed them in the late 1970s, and the jig was up. Twitter should have been called Twatter. Agreed, Cram. Agreed. Twitter is a jungle. Yep, always has been. Arctic says biltong and droivores is allowed in the USA. Yeah. Tabang Lesolo, Ronaldo's petition is at 30,000. I think we'll get to 100,000 by tomorrow. He must step down. Why must he step down? He's committed no crime. Unlike Julius Malema, he doesn't sing songs about murdering people, encouraging people, inciting them to violence. Unlike Jacob Zuma, he doesn't spew racial epithets. Why must Ronaldo step down? Please, Tabang, tell us why. Because a bunch of idiots went to a leftist website and voted on a stupid-ass poll that he should be removed? No, I don't think so. For better or worse, we are friends. South Africa needed a close state for factories and friend shoring because of China. Kenya Kwesi, South Africa and America are natural friends. That's correct. But we're not friends right now. The ANC is a hostile communist scumbag regime. And it has been brought down to size, but we remain to see what's going to come out of this. The ANC has acted against the national security interests of the United States at every turn, while poking us in the face and calling us racist and liars, while we've kept millions of people from dying from HIV in this country. We have kept this country on the international scene. We have propped up this pathetic regime for years. My government has. And we've looked the other way when they have called us names and lied about us. Remember, Cyril Ramaphosa says, vaccine apartheid. Meanwhile, he has a domestic pharmaceutical industry which made no effort to develop vaccines, made no effort to collaborate with Pfizer, Moderna, or Abbott, or anyone else who's producing these vaccines. And then he cried about it after he signed up. He says, we don't need that. We'll be part of the COVAX. And when COVAX didn't deliver, he didn't call the UN racist. He didn't call the UN hating on South Africa. He didn't say the UN was against the developing world. No, it was the United States. Yet we gave him the recipe, the formula. We gave him the centrifuges, the equipment to make it. We gave Aspen Pharmacare $711 million to produce jabs. And so don't get me started on this. Oh my goodness. How many youngsters are going to avoid U.S. to avoid the draft? None. We don't have a draft. I see draft avoidance bigger than Vietnam draft avoidance. Who do you support come November? No, I don't, because we don't have a draft. We're not going to have a draft. We don't have the resources for a draft. We already spend $900 billion a year on an all-volunteer force. How can we afford a draft, and why do we need it? We have nowhere to put them. I don't. Okay, let me go see what this is, because this is just horse manure. Let me see what this is. Congress draft. Okay, Congress draft bill. Okay, here it is. House passes defense bill automatically registering men 18-26 for draft. The selective service is already mandatory for males age 18 to 24. So all they've done is extend it to people 2 years longer. There's no change here. This year's National Defense Authorization Bill authorized $895.2 billion in military spending. That's $900 billion. That's what I just said. Yep. It's just stupid. We have a deficit. They need to focus on the deficit. They need to focus on securing our southern border, not this whitewashed. See, this now that people are talking about this, it means nothing. This means nothing. Nothing at all. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Chucky the Crypt Keeper, blasted the bill, saying the inclusion amendments curbing funding for abortion, transgender, Medicare, and diversity efforts. Unsurprisingly, the legislation coming out of the House today is loaded with anti-LGBTQ, anti-choice, anti-environment, and other divisive amendments guaranteed not to pass the Senate. As we move forward this year's NDAA process, both sides will have to work together to pass bipartisan legislation that honors and respects all who serve in the defense of our nation. Yeah, shut up, Chucky. You should be retired a long time ago. Yeah, this doesn't change anything. This is just stupid. This is what we pay our Congress for, wasting our time. That's the bill they came up with. They stuck that in the defense bill, making people up to the age of 26 register for the draft. Why? We don't have a draft. See, and now they're misleading the world. Now the world, this is a message, this is a juvenile message to Putin. Ooh, we're getting ready to fight you. We're not. Stupid. All right, let me get back to where it's at. So, no, there's no draft, Dodgers. There's no draft. There will be no draft. Hey, Chris Ayers. ANC is toxic yet? Awkwardly, there are literal criminals sitting in Parliament. These snowflakes demand someone removed because they can't handle anyone having an opinion. Exactly. Zweli Mkhize, criminal, accused. Cyril Ramaphosa, Pala, criminal accused. Paul Mashatile, criminal accused. The list goes on and on. Actual people committing crimes sitting in Parliament. Ronaldo host should resign for his opinion? I don't think so. Yeah. Most youngsters in America can't even leave their parents' house. They're going nowhere. Exactly, Arctic. Only 18% of 18-year-olds are even eligible to serve in the military because of height and weight standards, because of drug use, because of criminal records, because of a host of other factors. Only 18% of 18-year-olds. So less than 1 in 5 Americans can even come into the military. So how are we going to have a draft? Now, lady says, Trudeau. Hey, now, lady. Who won the next American elections? I keep Donald Trump. Electoral landslide. ANC has managed to dodge the bullet thanks to John Steenhuisen entirely. How so, Chris? I saw Russia was in Cuba. Are they really trying to do something or just a social visit? Just a port call. Are U.S. Marine SEALs being issued with AR-15s or powder puffs? Interested to see what transpires if or when Zuma and Ace get back together. Do you really expect any positive change with the new menage a trois? It depends. It depends entirely on what the cabinet looks like. And also depends on how long the government will entertain sedition and treason by Jacob Zuma and the MK party. Everything depends on those two things. So as long as they tolerate it, the country's in trouble. And nothing will change. If the DA doesn't get a hold of some key ministries, at a minimum they should get, but they're not going to get: finance, public enterprises, police, justice, and education. If they don't get those, then I don't think it's going to get better. Even if they do, it's going to be a hard road to hoe. But the bureaucracy is going to actually work about it. Kenya Kwesi says, sorry about the communists. I hope that most of my countrymen have seen Zimbabwe and its effects. My father said I must watch out for okay, I hope the NC can clean up. I hope they clean up too. Ronaldo will not give up because people tell him to. He will give up when he wants to, says Solar. There's no white freedom of speech. Anything you could say could be construed as racist. Exactly. Always extra crispy. NC did not represent all people, so your opinion is flawed. Excuse me? What are you talking about? What opinion? Who's talking about the ANC? You're going to have to clarify that always extra crispy because it makes no sense. I don't know if you wrote it 5 minutes ago or it's just coming up, but what? What are you talking about? Does it work? We never ever thought of being tested for drugs or alcohol. We do in the military, been tested for drugs and alcohol, well, for drugs since the 1980s. He is good, much better than the demagogues. True. Graham says, how much longer do you think the rats will keep creepy Joe steering the boat? I don't know. It's a good question. The government doesn't exactly control South Africa. They just think they do. Now, lady, Ace is done. State just waiting for his PA to be extradited from the USA. Then it's over. Yep. A lot of people ignore them. Yeah, so I need to know Kwanyezi, not Kwanyezi, who said that? Sorry, it wasn't him. Who said that? It was Coindees. I don't understand. No, who said that? Extra crispy, always extra crispy. Yes, you have to explain it because I don't know what you're talking about. How am I wrong? I didn't even talk about the NC. Sorry, it was my response to someone who said this. My personal opinions. Okay, if you're responding to someone, please use the @ symbol and start to type their name so that says you're responding to them. Otherwise, it looks like you're responding to me. I know that not everybody uses YouTube all the time and not familiar with it, but when you're in the comment section and you want to respond to someone else, if you hit the @ symbol and then you start to type their name, it should show up. If there are 4 people with this username begins with an S, then it'll show all 4, and you just continue typing, you get the right one, hit return, and then type in your message. That'll make it clear. So no worries, no reason to apologize. Always extra crispy. I just did know. It looked like you're asking me or commenting me. Who do you think will be the deputy president? I think it'll probably be Mashatile, but it should be Labisa since he didn't become the president. Labisa should be. John Steenhuisen doesn't stand a chance. John Steenhuisen is not going to be the deputy president. He's not going to have a ministerial position. He'll just be the leader of his party in parliament. Speaking of leaders of party, there's one party that has a representative, and that is the Good Party from Tani Pat. Tani Patricia DeLille. Oh, there's Tani Pat. She's going back to parliament all by herself. Hey, at least Musi Maimani gets to take a friend. Musi Maimani and Bosa got 2 seats. Tani Pat got 1. But hey, who am I to judge? She has 1 more seat than I have in the South African parliament. Exactly. We cared for our work and ethics. We would die to be called out for that. The morals have changed. 2 corporals were dishonorably discharged for being caught with marijuana. Yeah, no. That's the sort of thing in the U.S. military that happens too. Joking Atheist says, I think the DA did the best they could with the cards they were dealt from voters. Yeah, I think that's fair. But again, they don't really know how to campaign. I'll tell you that. They really don't. Although they stepped up the game this time, they still didn't get it right. They were sent to prison. After that, they had extra. Woo. Wow. Met who? Who's a very nice lady. Anyway, so MK, again, what are they up to? Who knows? They know, but it looks like they're up to just trying to get away with whatever they can. They're trying to throw shade on the election to demand a re-election. And quite frankly, if they got a re-election, they would probably do very well because people have now seen that the ANC can be taken down, and that's going to affect things. So, yeah, if they got a re-election, they might do very well. And I think that scares the bejesus out of a lot of people, so, and rightly so. MK is the last party you want to see in governance, even later than the EFF, to be honest. We got 100 likes. We do have 100 likes, 138 people still here. So thank you for that. Do you know, on my phone, and it's cock hard to find a whiskey in one. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Arctic is behind the stick on a plane. At 28,000 feet, we're cruising. He's trying to put down his Jack Daniels and type while he puts it on autopilot. He got his Jack Daniels in one hand. He's got his phone in the other hand. Oh, Arctic, you're out of control. Where is my Drew Vorse? Where's my super chat? Where's my flight? MK will do better now. Should there be a revote, they will take the rest of the ANC voters with them. No, they won't take the rest, but they will do better. They didn't take a lot of the ANC voters with them. They probably took about 1 million. The rest are former ANC voters who weren't voting, and they convinced them to vote. Just arrived. Did you see all the misinformation campaign ran by MK where RSA government red lines? I don't know what you mean, RSA government red lines. I have seen the misinformation from their press conference yesterday. Please don't tell me you removed the poster off poll. Apparently, it's a crime to interfere with an election poster. Actually, and Mo 2310, it's not a crime to remove an election poster after election. In fact, it is a crime not to remove them. You have 14 days to remove the signs from the polls, or you will be charged for every single sign that's still up. So I've helped the Good Party by removing this sign. 2 days ago, I saw people in Santon, just off of Grayston, removing ANC posters because they're required to. I was actually impressed. Rarely do you see the parties remove the posters. This was one time we saw it. It's not a crime. No, that's just another fake news, misinformation spread by a video that was spread by racist EFF trolls. But that woman was accused of doing that before the election. That is a crime if you do that before the election. Yeah. But it's not after the election. Nope. Seems UK and SA are all facing a bit of quandary when it comes to voting for the lesser two evils. Two weasels. No, lady, I don't think so. We have no lesser two evils. We have a clear conservative who has successfully led our country, ended 3 wars, freed billions in investment, and treated the country very well. Just had mean tweets. That's not a weasel. That's a good choice. Multitasking while flying. Thankfully not flying our plane. Exactly, Deb. He's not flying my plane. Yes, we are tired of the cost of living. Yeah, it's crazy. Renee is going to back international court with Zuma. Going back to international court with Zuma. Sandy, I don't know what you mean by that. Hey, there's Sandy. There's the author right there. Isn't that you? Isn't that you? Try to get people to watch the book, but I don't think is Hendo even here? I didn't even see Hendo. Let me get the link for that damn thing. Let me see, because I don't think the link was shared. We had 163 views so far. Get a shareable link. Let me put that over here. Paste. That's the link to the book, the children's book. Your door voice in Pretoria, your super chat was in the last stream, and your ticket was to the rugby or on Comair. Your pick. Well, I had to buy a ticket. I didn't hear from you, man. Wasn't a cheap ticket either. What if you saw that government will take MKP language and information warfare? I'm not sure what the question is. MK party sounds like kids finding limits. Exactly, Brendan. Exactly. Zuma will get arrested for misconduct at some point. Well, I would hope so. They were caught in Ellsborough in possession of. Okay. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, you were talking about that a long time ago. That's so Jacob Zuma wants to take his case to international court, as our constitution would not hear him out. Well, there is no court for him to go to. There is no international court for individuals to go to. The International Court of Justice is a body that resolves disputes between states. Jacob Zuma is not a state. He might think he is. State of incontinence, state of confusion. But Jacob Zuma is not a state. There is no international court for him to go to. The International Criminal Court is for those who committed war crimes, crimes against humanity. Election fraud is not a crime against humanity. So, and that can only be referred by the country, not by an individual. So Jacob Zuma has no standing. He's just another idiot running his mouth, babbling along because he's about as bright as a box of chocolates. Clever guy, but not a very bright guy. So once again, talking out his backside. I know, but I find it really funny, says Sandy. Brian was busted 3 times. 2 in 81, 182. Worst case, a 60 rand fine. Why does it appear that impeachment hearings in the USA seem about as effective as Ronaldo trying to prosecute any crooks? Graham, that's because an impeachment is a political trial. It's not a criminal trial. An impeachment is only possible if you have sufficient votes. So a party basically has to control both bodies of the legislature in order to have impeachment be successful. You have to get the articles of impeachment drafted and approved and passed by the House, sent to the Senate, which conducts the trial, and you must have 60 votes or 2/3 conviction in the Senate, which is very hard to do. No one's ever actually been successfully impeached. FAA closed down New York due to what we call a small rain shower, so it took me 39 hours to get home, hence you didn't hear from me. Okay. Well, the FAA shuts down Philadelphia all the damn time when they claim there's lightning and there's no damn lightning. I, once upon a time, flew back from Europe, landed in Philadelphia, collected my bag, because you have to collect it when you land in the States and then recheck it in, and then had like a 4-hour flight delay, but I had to be somewhere for an event that evening. So this other guy who had lots of money was with me. He's like, I'm just going to get a car. I'm going to get a taxi, and it's a 2-hour drive. I'm going to get a taxi and just go. I said, okay. He's like, why don't you come with me? I said, well, okay. And he said, don't worry about it. I'll pay for it. He paid for it. And we got back there 2 hours instead of when the plane had not even taken off and we were already back, driving back. Yeah, it's very annoying what they do. But it's meant for safety, so stop whining about it. You're just frustrated because it took 39 hours to get home. And rightly so, brother. Rightly so. I can see and hear Dali and Pofu after losing international court would pay to see that. Well, you won't see it because there's no international court for him to go to. There is no international court. See, this is how stupid these people are. And they're just making a bunch of noise to convince people, of nonsense. Graham says, thanks for your live. You're welcome. Okay. be honest, I think Zuma likes it when people think he's stupid. He has managed to keep himself out of prison for 20 years. Yeah, he is stupid. I didn't say he wasn't clever. I said he is clever. But I mean, this is just nonsense, as is all the garbage in the press conference last night. Never mind the fact that we kept waiting for 5.5 hours, 4.5 hours for someone to speak, and he didn't even speak. He spoke through someone else because he can't read the damn notes for the speech he didn't even write. Yeah. Anyway, Wope. Oh, no, not Wope. Wolf. Let me see. I'm checking something here real quick. So please go check out the book and read it. That's a pretty cool book. I hope you guys check it out. So let's see how we're doing here. We got about 800 tuned into this thing, so that's not bad for this hour. Better than I get on my live streams at home on the proper hour. So anyway, no, YouTube is having some problems tonight, folks. They closed Philadelphia airspace for Biden just to get it from France. Everybody just ignored it. Called control to verify his words were no VIP detected, just keep flying. Does sound important when you mention international court and the people cheers. Yeah, it does, Sandy, but there's no basis for it. Again, as I said, the International Criminal Court is for war crimes and crimes against humanity, and it can only be a case referred by a state that's a signatory, not an individual. So that's one thing. The second problem is that the International Court of Justice is only for resolving disputes between states. The Bokassa Peninsula between Cameroon and Nigeria, Sududu Island between Namibia and Botswana, cases like that. Not this garbage. Yeah, YouTube is wonky time. There's Tendo. Okay. You were booted by UAM. What do you mean you were booted by UAM? 1 of 440 or 44. I see there are huge hit pieces against Ronaldo on old videos he did. They call him First Race Nation. Malamas gave Ronaldo not makes complete sense, right? Yeah, joking atheist. We were talking about that earlier. Ronaldo didn't do anything. It's I've seen the video. It's from 15 years ago, and he didn't do anything. They didn't do it. He certainly didn't do what they claimed. Our reading glasses look very similar. Mine are 80 rand from Crazy Store. Well, these were I think $15 from Walmart. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get accustomed to wearing these. I didn't have to wear them before, but this floater's just become too much of a problem. So I mean, when I get enough rest and have my big screens in front of me, which sit away from me, I can read them. But on the road, constantly working, constantly making content, constantly briefing, constantly interviewing people, traveling all the time. My eyes are tired, and that floater gets in the way, so I need these darn things. So anyway, MK union reps have been using inflammatory language in opposition to the GNU. How long will the government take until it responds to this? The House case is also linked to how hate speech is applied. Well, there's no hate speech. Ronaldo gave no hate speech. That's simply a fairy tale and slander by the political left. But I get your point. Well, the government of South Africa amazingly ignores racist comments from black racists most of the time. They do after a few. And Jacob Zuma will get away with what he's getting away with until he threatens Ramaphosa. Then he'll be taken down. Yep. All right. So clearly not. Zuma addressed the media with that declaration. Violence, just he claimed it's nothing to do with what's said. Now, he can't read. That's the problem. That's why he did it. He can't read. He's functionally illiterate. We've heard this for years, and that's obvious based on what we saw last night. He's functionally illiterate. I mean, what else would he be? So, I mean, that answers the question right there. So, come on. There we go. All right, so we got a little bit higher there. Anyway, yeah, so we finally got this darn thing to work. Thanks for all the patience for coming over, folks. Yeah, so, folks, please check out the book. Let me see if I can still get the link there. I'll post it. The book, it's only about a 10-minute video. It's a children's book, so it's the one thing you can show your kids on this channel. Pretty sure South African Human Rights Commission will issue a statement in the morning. Yeah, of course. Yep. Welcome back to the crazy country there, Arctic. I don't know if I'll see you. Are you going to the game? Oh, yeah, let's go back. I closed that poll, and I've had to pull it for a long time. All right, so let me see. Most people. So 152 people answered, and 9% said yes. That means that about 14 people plan to be going. Well, if those 14 people, I hope I see you at Leftists on Saturday. It'll be epic, folks. Hopefully the Bulls can win. They beat Glasgow at Leftists a few weeks back, so they could probably do it. We'll see if they do it. Yes, the South African Human Rights Commission is a race-based organization. It is race-biased. Yeah, it is. Sullivan thought you clicked the wrong button. Huh? Sandy says, thank you for your support, Colonel. I can't express my gratitude. No, it's my pleasure, Sandy. I try to do the book justice. I think it's a lovely book. Yeah, I'd be happy to read the others in the series. And if you get them to me before I depart, I'll be able to use scenery and backgrounds of the Western Cape, which should be pretty cool. That was iconic having the Vaal River there, but I could have like the mountains of Stellenbosch or Franschhoek behind me. That'd be pretty cool. Any thoughts on Israel pausing its assault for humanitarian aid? No thoughts. I don't think anything's special going on there. Arctic says, I'm not allowed at Loftus. I've seen Sharks supporters there before. I went to a Sharks and Bulls game. If Zuma wasn't part of the MK party, you think they would have had the vote? No. Now, if Zuma wasn't part of MK, they would have gotten about 1% of the vote max. And the IFP would have probably gotten 6 or 7% of the vote, if not more. Yeah, 6 or 7%. Now, the only reason people voted for MK is because of their affinity for Jacob Zuma. That's what it's all about. It's a vanity project. That's all it is. And when Zuma's off the stage or passed away, it will vaporize and disappear. Same with the EFF. Julius Malema's not there. No EFF. Yep. Look at Cope. Terra Lakota is done. There's nothing left of Cope. So there you go. Go Bulls. I predict the 3-point win. It's a good guess there. Anyone notice Jacob Zuma having intermittent bouts of coughing? Very close. Yeah, who didn't seem fazed by this, just taking all the germs. Yeah, he also fell asleep. Chris says the Bulls win. I hope so. Exactly. Wife gets pissed off when I come home in different clothes and paint on my face. How? Opera Bar Cloud Seeding Technologies. Well, cloud seeding is done to get rain. So, I mean, if you got some conspiracy it's for something else, that's a different story. But it's about getting rainfall. Debbie said you did the book justice with your location and great introduction. Well, thank you for that, Debbie. I liked it. I tried to do it. I just wish I had more time. Oops, sorry. Just wish I had more time to put it together. But I did that one take. I did reread one passage because I misread a word. It kind of messed up the entire passage. So I went back. I didn't go back. I just started over again and then edited that part out. I think I picked the right transition. The fades work pretty well between the sections. There are no chapters in the book, so I was trying to find a logical way to do it. And I think that worked pretty well. So cool. There have been people who have said way worse racist stuff. Yep. It is hypocrisy. Yep. Well, we saw it already. The leader of Al Jamaa said far worse racist things the night of the presidential election. So we also saw it coming from Fidel Adams and others. Yep. That was unfortunate. I was disappointed to see Fidel Adams say that. Politics is one thing, but being dishonest is another thing. So anyway, all right, folks, it is over an hour. We're going to wrap it up here. It's late. And, Derek Beam says hi. Hey, Derek Beam or Derek Beam? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. So if you want to correct me, just let me know. And let me just check on something here real quick. Okay. Let me see how we're doing here now. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Be sure to hit the like button. I forgot to ask for likes here. So 59. All right. So thanks for coming in to the Night House, folks. All the means South Africa extremely biased too. Remember we started this, the troll came in and was attacking me already and making lies, and I hadn't even talked about MK, and so he was complaining about what I was saying about MK, but I hadn't talked about MK. It was beyond funny. Ronaldo should show, what? I will stand down just as soon as people are prosecuted for the crimes held accountable for the racist utterings. There you go. All right, be sure to hit the like button before you go. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow, folks. Roman Kabanek, live stream in the morning, then Sean Stewart, and then possibly the fire department later. So lots of broadcasts tomorrow. I can hit the road. So have a good one. Oh, it's Boom. Okay, thank you. Yeah, but it's not spelled correctly. Yes, Derek, but Boom is B with, like you spelled it. Why is it Beam? did they Africanize it when you came? The people came here? Anyway. So, Derek Boom. Okay. All right. It's a private fire department in Santon, and I'll see if they're going to do it or not. I don't know if I have them committed yet, so I'll talk to them tomorrow. Good night, everybody. And good night, Derek Boom. Good to see you there. Yep. All right. Yeah, they Africanized the name. Thanks for another great stream, Colonel, and for your continued support. The rights of Southampton people. I'm off to bed. Long day at the hospital tomorrow. Cardio pills. Well, I hope that goes well. Now, lady, good night to you. And everybody says thanks. You guys take well. Roman was in Russia. Yeah, so I will be careful. Good night, everybody. God bless. Be good to each other. Don't take a wood nickel.